Hello there, enemies and extroverts. Welcome to Basically Misled. I'm Dagny.
And I'm Day.
We give advice. 50% is life-changing, 50% will leave you crying in a stairwell by the end of the day. You decide which is which.
Come procrastinate with us while we chatter endlessly about things you could probably just Google.
Today we are welcoming back Laurel.
Hello,
I'm
Laurel.
sure all of our dedicated listeners will remember the first time Laurel was on, our first guest. She's back for more.
Episode 7.
Pain, the hard truth. Laurel's ready to dish it out.
Oh, yeah! We're ready to ask it of her.
Say hi, Laurel.
Hi, Laurel.
Of course.
So to start out, how is everyone doing today? We are currently in an office. We've rented this office out for our podcast because we're making the big bucks now. So.
Oh, yeah. We're just rolling around in the dough, and it shows within our office.
Yeah, Day took up smoking cigars now.
It's a hobby, you know?
You have to have expensive hobbies when you get rich, you know?
Duh.
That's true. I don't have an expensive hobby, do I?
We can find you one.
Pens.
Pens.
That can get expensive.
Oh, the pens she likes. Yeah.
It's true.
But yeah, so how are you doing, Laurel?
Yeah.
My mood?
Yeah, how's your mood?
How's your mood? Specifically your mood.
You know, my mood is as neutral as ever.
That's so fascinating.
Explain more, Laurel.
Yeah, explain more.
I'd really like to get in depth with this.
Yeah.
About my moods?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You have multiple moods. Okay.
Well, I feel like I don't have, like, specific moods. Like, Day and Dagny will often be like, oh, I'm not in the right mood, or I'm, like, in a specific mood where I want to do this thing, whereas I feel like I don't really get that, like, those kind of moods. Like, I'll just do whatever when other people want to do whatever, you know? Like, even if I'm not in the mood, with air quotations, to do that at the time, I know that, like, when I go and start to do whatever people want to do, I'll become in the mood. You know? So I don't have, like, life-changing moods. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's fascinating.
Interesting.
That's so much consistency. I feel like I've been I've been all over the place in the last few weeks.
I can testify to that. No. Yeah.
I don't know.
So?
I feel like sometimes I'm just like, the world is terrible. I could just sit here and stare at a wall all day long and it would be fine. And then other times I'm like, I'm ready to like get up and like, I don't know, stare life in the face with a sword that's gleaming because you spent 3 hours shining it at 6 a.m. that morning.
I feel like I'm always in both of those moods. Like, I'm ready to be one or the other, you know?
To have that much consistency in your life. Wow.
I'm not. I feel like I go through moods of just being so stressed out that it's like the last straw on the camel's back if something even little happens.
Okay, but stressed out isn't really a mood. I feel like you are like grumpy, you're like on edge. You're kind of like slightly mad. That's like your mood.
That's been my mood the past, 3 months, 4 months, 20 months?
With some notable swings.
Yes.
Exceptions that are swings. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've been going back and forth between being like grumpy and mad and sad and then really happy. And not that happy. I've been all over the place as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but when I think about it and like Day walks in the room, it's like you can kind of assess it. How's Day feeling right now?
Oh, yeah.
Usually it's extreme enough where you can notice. But you know, think about Laurel. We've been spending a lot of time with Laurel in the past few hours. I feel like your presence is very consistent, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's very consistent.
I take that as a compliment.
It's weirding me out now that I'm thinking about it.
I never actually thought about it, but when you think about it, it's so
I
true.
never thought about you and your mood, but yeah, it's consistent. I mean, I feel like there are times where we talk and, like, you're maybe not so into, like, certain things. But, like, overall, yeah.
What do you mean I'm not into certain things?
Really? I'm thinking right now about our discussions about if you were going to stay in Evergreen or not.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if that's necessarily a mood.
I feel like that's, like, when I talk to you, like, when we go on our walks, it's usually, like, I don't know, like, I have something I need to get off my chest. But it's not necessarily a mood.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You just need to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good. You're a very flexible person. And
Yeah.
I feel like that can bring you, a lot.
But I also think it makes me bad at assessing other people's moods.
Oh.
You know, like, when I'm not always great at social cues, or, like, you know, when, like, you said when Day walks into the room, like, you can tell what her mood is, like, the mood in the air kind of changes based on...
I feel like it's her body language.
Wow.
Oh, okay, it's not like that.
Wow.
But you know how, like, I don't know, in movies or something, it's like the mood changes when a certain person walks in,
Oh, yeah.
or something like that. It's like
Like a soap opera.
I have, like, no sense of of what's, like, if things are changing when, like, if the mood changes when certain people in certain moods walk in or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's also, I feel like it's body language and its response to any stimuli, like, going on. Like, if something, like, mildly out of place is happening, you watch Day, like, come in, and then you can tell when she sees it. And then depending on how she reacts to, like, a small thing, like, if there's, like, food in the sink, and you just watch her walk over, and then she sees it. And then depending on, because sometimes she'll just be like, oh, and she'll go about it, and sometimes she'll just she'll get, like, a glare going on.
Yep.
So, it's just things like that I've memorized.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's me.
Anyway, but yeah, Laurel, you were thinking about leaving Evergreen. I feel like that's a very, like, real experience that a lot of people go through. And some people do choose to leave Evergreen, and some people choose not to.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like you just felt like you had to stay, or did you, like, make a decision? You're like, no, this is, like, worth it to commit to graduating from Evergreen.
Well, to be honest, since we're going to talk about commitments now, I often find myself committing to things without thinking about them a lot, which is kind of how I ended up at Evergreen a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I'm in this, but, like, do I want to be in this? And, like, should I maybe have thought about my decisions a little more? And then I, like, second guess myself. And that was kind of what was going on when I was thinking about leaving Evergreen, was I was second guessing myself, because I wasn't, like, super happy here. I was thinking maybe it was just my mood at the time. But then that's, like, a very long mood to, like, that's, like, a very dramatic, I don't know if that's really a mood.
I don't think that's a mood if it's, like, months long.
Yeah. But I was, like, thinking, I don't know, maybe I should go somewhere else. Maybe there's something else I should do, or something, like, better somewhere else. And so I was really very strongly actually considering leaving Evergreen. In the end, I decided not to do it, partially because my credits wouldn't transfer very well, and I would have to go to, like, extra school, which I don't want to do or pay for. Especially when I would be leaving partially because I don't know what I'm doing, and it's not like I'm gonna know what I'm doing more somewhere else necessarily.
Right.
But also because, like, so I didn't transfer partially because it was kind of difficult, but also because I wanted to give Evergreen a second chance. I'm actually glad I did, because I'm fairly happy here now, I think.
That's good.
Yes.
Glad.
So would you describe that feeling as, like, do you get kind of, like, restless? Like, you feel like you need to change to a different thing? Or is it more just, like, looking back and be, like, questioning, like, oh, was that the right decision? Because I look at everything that went badly, or not as, like, how I imagined it, and like that.
It's kind of both. Like, one, I was, like, looking back on my whole life, and I'm like, is this really the happiest I've ever been in my life? Not really. I want my life to be progressively better, or at least not ever worse than it was, and it's been good. I've had a good life, but I don't want to, regret things, I guess. I don't know if that's really what I'm trying to say. But then also, so I was like, well, I could be happier somewhere else. I know that I can be happier because I have been happier. And so I was thinking, well, should I, leave and try to find somewhere where I am happier? But then it also is kind of a restless thing where I'm, never really content where I am, which is kind of, not a great, I don't know, not a great trait. I often am, last year I was, looking at, my friends from high school, their Facebook posts who I graduated with in high school, and they're, off traveling the world and doing these awesome things. And, of course, that's partially, a social media thing, where you try to make everything on social media seem like your life is really awesome. Mm. But I was, so jealous, and I'm just here, stressing out and studying all the time. Am I really, doing things that I, really want to do here? So it's, partially a restless thing also.
Yeah. Committing. Yeah, I mean, I had I was thinking about, is Evergreen, the best place to, learn computer science? Because it's not, a tech school, but then I was kind of questioning my commitment. But I think once I commit to things, it's very hard to, uncommit. And I think when I first came to Evergreen, I feel like a lot of things could have happened here, and I still would have felt oh, this was worth it, because I had already committed. Because, I arrived, and I was I'm going to be here for 4 years. And I was yeah. Some things I feel I commit to very strongly, and other things I find harder.
Yeah, I feel with Evergreen, I haven't ever second-guessed my commitment to it as, the first college I go to. But I feel I have second-guessed classes I've taken. Mm. Or just, if I have kind of second-guessed if, I'm really getting the best, education from it all. If I'm really learning what I should learn for, grad school. If I have all my prereqs. But, I haven't second-guessed. I mean, I guess I have second-guessed the college, but, not the college as a whole. Just, I guess that just the education part. Never mind. I've second-guessed it. Yeah. But, I'm still, I feel strong about the fact that I chose it, and, I feel good about that. And, I feel
Well, you haven't really lost steam at all, I feel in the sense, maybe you're kind of, ready to go, but, I feel your plan is, very...
My plan is still in place.
It's very strong, and it's, in place, and it's leading to something, whereas me and Laurel are kind of, the plan is to graduate. We're on track for that.
That's about it.
True. Yeah.
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 Well, what about commitments other than... gigantic ones like your education.
The one you spend thousands of dollars on?
What about small commitments? What else?
I feel I can be a very indecisive person.
Yeah.
Well, actually, though, I commit pretty strongly to, whatever eating stuff I have going on.
Yeah, you do.
And then because when I go out, I really go out. So it's I'm either totally committed or... I'm not. And, right now, I'm very committed. It's very easy for me to commit to friends, I think. I have a very strong, either I've decided to, either, I don't like a person, and then I'm, I know I'm not committed to them, or I'm, accidentally become committed to somebody who I shouldn't have.
But you don't, commit yourself to not like them? Or do you do that?
No, but yeah. I'm not very indecisive about it is the thing. I'm very decisive about subjects that I like. I'm kind of indecisive making art. Like lately my kind of the thing that I say to myself is because I like draw these mandalas, and so it's like when you do something on one piece, it has to go on every single piece. And so I think to myself, oh, should I color it this color? And then I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then I'm like, no, the only way to see is just to do it and see if it looks ugly or not. So like, don't be like a baby about it. And sometimes it's so ugly because I just like don't think things through. I don't know the line between like making a decision in a timely manner and thinking things through.
Yeah.
That's what I have to say about that.
I'm a very indecisive person, but that's because I'm also a people pleaser, so I'm like, you decide, even though I kind of know what I want to do.
I don't think of you as an indecisive person at all.
No.
Really?
No.
I feel like you're never like, you don't usually spend a whole lot of time between two things.
That
Either
you
one
know
place
of.
or the other.
I think when
In my brain, I go wishy-washy a lot.
I think
I don't
when
think
you
that's
make a decision,
wishy-washy.
though, you really, like, commit to the decision.
That's true.
And
like,
so that's what we see.
I go back and forth, and I feel like that's me being indecisive. I'm like, oh, should I do this? No, I shouldn't. Should I do this? Yes, I should. Do I want to do this? Yes, no. Blah, 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 blah. And then I come to people and I talk about it with them, and then they tell me what I should do or not do, and then I take that into consideration, and then I come to a decision, and then I stick to that decision.
Wow, that's like an action plan.
Yeah.
That seems good.
That's what I do. That's what I do on subjects that I'm not sensitive about and have a lot of fear around. If I'm very chill about a subject, then I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's what most of my things are.
Yeah. I don't know, Laurel, how do you feel like do you feel like you commit to people? Like, is that a phrase that you would ever use to describe what you do?
I really, really commit to people, and oftentimes, so like I said earlier, I'll commit to things and then be like, oh, did I make the right decision? Like, whoops. That happens to me with people too. Like my freshman year, I think, you know how in the very beginning of the year, everyone's like trying to make friends really fast, and like I just like made a bunch of friends, and then later in the year, like towards the end of fall quarter, I was like, oh, do I really want to be friends with these people? Well, it's kind of too late, I've already committed. So it worked out that like their little friend group kind of fell apart, and so it worked out for me, which is kind of sad, but like, yeah, I'll commit to people, and then I don't know how to get out of it, and, but oftentimes, like, I don't regret it. Like, I love people, and, yeah.
Your job involves a lot of, like, helping people. Do you feel like it's easy for you to, like, overcommit because you want to just, like, help a bunch of people?
Yeah, I overcommit myself a lot, and then I end up letting people down because I've overcommitted myself. But I think, like, in the scenario of my job, where, like, my job is specifically to help people, I feel like I've been working on boundaries a lot this year, and, like, within that context, and I feel like I'm able to commit to helping people, like, in a moment of need for them. I'm still working on committing to, like, following through with that help. So, like, after the scenario, like, a scenario happens or whatever, I'm not, like, I need to work on, wow, this isn't even about commitment anymore. I need to work on, like, following through and, like, continuing to help them. But I think I've worked it out so that, like, when people need me, I can be there for them. And I think that's really what's important.
Yeah.
And I think that's true within all of my relationships, is even when I can't, like, I'm a little wishy-washy or, like, stuff like that, I can usually be there when people really need me. That was off topic. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, that's That's like, that's having a commitment to a lot of people. I mean, it is like part of your job, I guess. But I feel like I don't know, like if somebody wants me to do something, I'm like, are you like in the list of people I need to prioritize? You know, because otherwise it's harder, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there are times, like, because I feel like I don't know. I feel like it takes me a little while to commit to people. But then, like, once I've decided if I want to, like, really extend that commitment to you, then I do. Until I don't. And then I don't. But
Sounds like not very committed.
Yeah.
It just depends what happens within that commitment to you. But then there are times where, like, I'm in a friend group, but then I don't fully want to do what they want to do. So then, like, say they, like, text, like, hey, like, we want to go to this party that's happening next Friday. And everybody's like, yeah, I'm down. And then I'm like, yeah, I might be down. And I'm like, maybe I can do it. And I feel like sometimes draw out commitments when I'm not actually going to do it.
That's so frustrating.
Like,
to me, honestly. Because I'm like, why don't you just say you don't want to do it?
Right.
Like, you have a hard time saying no?
Yes, that's what it is.
I have a hard time saying no to people also, though.
Yeah, and it's like, I think I have this commitment that I have to say yes to them. Or, like, I feel like this need to say yes to this person, so then I just continue to say yes and just draw things out even though I don't want to say yes. And then usually I end up doing it. So, I guess I feel like
you feel obligated to, like, say yes always, but even if you don't really want to, or like drag it out as a way.
Yeah.
But then in return, I feel like I feel obligated because I know that people in general do that, not you specifically, but I feel obligated to like really check with people to make sure they're okay with something. And now I'm obligated to like make sure people are telling the truth if they want to do something. And I feel like that's very unfortunate for me and I don't like it. So I'm trying to push it back toward everyone else.
Yeah.
And be like, just tell me.
I know. I'm working on being more assertive with my own emotions.
Good. That sounds healthy.
Yeah. I don't know how it's going.
Are you assertive with your emotions, Laurel?
What exactly does that mean?
Like, okay, so what I mean by that is so say you're like, hey, Dave, let's go dancing.
Uh-huh.
Because you're really into dancing, and I'm like, oh, shit, like, Laurel really wants to go dancing, but I don't know how I feel about dancing this week. But then I feel inclined to say yes to you because I have nothing going on, and, like, you're one of my close friends, like, oh, no. So then, normally I would say, yeah, I might be able to do that.
But it really means no.
But really, what I should say is, I'm not really into going dancing this week.
I feel like I gotta say, in your scenario that you set up, you have nothing going on. Like, push your boundaries, Day. Get out of your comfort zone and just go dancing.
I know!
Come dancing with me, God.
I'm busy.
I don't know when you're going, but I'll be busy.
I know it happens Wednesdays. I'm busy.
Yeah, I think I really have a hard time saying no, but it's not just like the people pleasing thing. It's also like I kind of want to do things, so I'm like leaving my options open by not committing to something, by not saying yes or no, because then I can be like at the last minute, oh, sorry, like something came up, I can't do it. Or I have too much homework or something. But then also I have the option to do it.
Have a mood where you don't want to do it sometimes.
What affects what activity? Like, say it's like, oh, there's like kind of a party going on, but there's also kind of like a more close hangout going on. You've been invited to both, but you could also go to neither.
Well, it really depends on the people there. Like, who do I want to hang out with at the time?
What if they're both going to be at each one?
then I don't know what my options are. What am I?
Is that having 2 different events?
Yeah.
Oh, are you saying like we could invite a bunch of people and have a big party or just a small hangout?
No, they're just gonna be at both. They're moving back and forth.
I would be at both of them, probably.
Yeah. Never mind.
I feel like you're a person who's very good at following other people to events.
I really am.
And just being along.
I don't
with the flow.
I'm not a planner. I'm not good at making plans. When I make plans, things don't, like, work out like they were supposed to, and then I get stressed out, so I just don't make plans anymore.
Kind of like a sheep. Just follow.
That's usually not a very flattering thing to say to someone.
No, it's just that neither of you have watched Arrested Development, right?
I have.
Okay, you know that thing where they're on like that island and the people are just following around and just getting lost on this island? And they're like sheep? And they keep making sheep jokes in the episode. It's funny.
I think so. I don't remember now.
It's what
I think I used to make a lot of sheep jokes in middle school.
Oh my God.
What? Really? Okay, but just back on that topic really briefly.
Yeah.
I don't think of myself as a follower. I think of myself as a supporter. So I'm not just following people around. I'm supporting what other people want to do and going with them.
Okay,
all right,
that's
jokes.
a good phrasing. Yeah, sheep jokes.
No, just like jokes about, like being a follower, basically.
Sometimes
like following the masses and not doing your own thing, basically.
Can I just see... I'm imagining you sitting kind of alone in the corner, just making these sheep jokes and staring
and laughing at yourself.
Yes! Laughing at yourself. Just chuckling.
Like, wow, they're all sheep. I'm just sitting here by myself. I'm so cool.
Wow, I sound so stuck up.
Yeah. Are we wrong?
I'm not confirming or denying anything. I feel like
So
either way it's a trap. I'm not getting involved. Yeah, but I think
indecisive much?
No, that was a very firm committal to stay in the gray area where I couldn't be accused of anything. Supporting is a good thing to say, though.
Yeah.
We've been recently, doing some activities together, and you're just, so down to do everything.
Right.
It honestly feels to me like, what's Laurel really thinking? She secretly has these opinions, and she's just gonna hide them from me, and then just simmer in
really?
resentment.
Is that how you feel? I'm so sorry.
That's how I felt up until, today at, 3 p.m. when I realized Laurel is just genuinely that good of a person that she's happy to do everything we want to do.
I was wow. have been worried that we've just planned all these activities, and Laurel, you're just wanting to do these things but not speaking up about it, and then just following us around.
She's just supporting us.
But she's just supporting us.
You're just thinking of it the
wrong
way.
Is there anything we can support you? We'll talk about it after. But yeah.
No, I feel.
You feel supported.
You guys didn't judge me for eating so much ice cream, so...
Did you see how much ice cream I ate?
No.
More than you.
Oh, okay. I'll catch up, don't worry.
Yeah. Perfect.
I had 2 chickens.
Good job.
I support you.
I just want to be involved.
I think chicken's good. Just thinking about it now.
The last dregs of the chicken are not good.
No.
Yeah,
but now you have
sausage.
Chicken.
The sausage was okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't really what I wanted.
But you committed to it once you bought it. Had to eat it.
That's true. I don't think that's a really appropriate way to use the word commitment at all, actually. So I'm just letting everyone know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what, though? Is that I'm very, some people really like a certain area of, like, even, like, a certain area of, like, a city or a city in general or even a state, and they feel, like, very, like, this is my home, this is my commitment. I feel like you kind of feel like that about Alaska, but I just don't know, like, where I want to, like, live or, like, move or, like, do stuff. So the idea of, like, committing to, like, live anywhere for, like, more than, like, 7 years, because 7 years is, like, I don't know, I guess I'm young enough where I'm, like, there are many 7 years ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, like, fine. But, like, committing to live anywhere longer than that, I'm like, whoa, hold it.
Yeah. I don't know.
So I do not commit to location. Free as a bird. I'm ready to go.
I
feel ready to leave Washington. I have a year left.
I can go either way. I'm very committed to not living in Oregon anymore.
That's not a commitment, that's just an avoidance of Oregon. That is not the same thing.
I'm committed to avoiding Oregon.
Okay.
I know it's not. But yeah, I don't know. I'm lost about where to live. I'm lost. But, so I'm very non-committal at the moment about the future.
Well, you know, you just need to go back and forth in your mind and then talk to other people and get their opinions and consider them and then commit to your decision.
You know what, Laurel? That's exactly what I'm doing right now. So
good.
Yeah.
Laurel, if somebody told you that you had to live in Alaska for the rest of your life, but you could travel as much as you wanted, but you lived in, like, Alaska, how would you feel about that?
I would be fine. Because I love Alaska. That's where I'm from. And Alaska's really big. Like, I could potentially move around in the state. And if I could travel as much as I want, I can just travel as much as I want. Also, considering if someone is forcing me to live in Alaska, but I can travel as much as I want, I'm assuming I'm getting paid enough to travel as much as I want. That's all taken into consideration.
I see. If anyone told me that, I would just feel so trapped.
See, if someone told me I had to stay in Washington, but I could travel, I would be a little bit more, I wouldn't be as happy about that, I think.
I think if someone told me I had to stay somewhere.
Like anywhere?
Anywhere. Just, like, stay there for the rest of my life. Even traveling, I would feel trapped. I would run away from that.
Like anywhere? Like you have to stay in North America for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. No. I mean, I'm probably going to stay in North America for the rest of my life, but I don't like that.
This is like when they closed the Evergreen pool. They closed the pool to, like, the public. Like, only the high schools use it or whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And everyone I talked to was so mad about the pool closing. Right. And I was like, have you ever actually gone to the pool? And they were like, no, but I'd like to have the option. And it's like, well, if you're not going to actually go to the pool, you can't expect them to keep it open.
I've actually heard so many people say the exact same thing. People are like, oh, that's so terrible. And I'm like, did you go to the pool? And they were like, no, but I was thinking about doing it sometime in the future.
It's like, you've been here 3 years and you haven't gone to the pool. Like, you don't need the pool to be open.
Right?
Yeah, and I mean, how else are you going to keep something funded if people aren't, like, going there to use it?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like, if nobody's showing up, like, that's obviously what they should be cutting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't argue with that.
Yeah. It is funny, though, how many people are like, why is the pool closed?
Right.
Nobody goes swimming.
I literally have gone to the pool, like, 3 times since I've been here.
Not once.
Really?
Really.
Not once, either.
I went when they had, like, Jaws in the pool, like, our freshman year, fall quarter. And then I've gone, like, a couple times with friends just to, like, splash around. And you know what? It was okay. Like, it wasn't, like, it wasn't my best pool experience, but it was alright.
I gotta be honest, I never went to the pool because it kind of freaked me out.
Why?
I don't know. I'm
not interested.
I've been to pools before. So I think something about the CRC and, like, going through the CRC to get to the pool and then going through another room, and then it's, like, I've never even been in the pool room.
Me neither.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, I've walked by too many times just to see, like, prepubescent boys just, like, with their shirts off.
Okay, and that bar from the outside, like, on the windows, is, like, right at crotch level.
Yeah.
So it always looks like they're naked. That couldn't have been an accident, right? They must have measured out the height and been like, yeah, 3 feet, that seems about right.
And then there's just, like, all the little kids running around. That's just, I don't know, they must be peeing.
Oh my god, how are children the reason you don't like the pool?
It's not, it's just the whole vibe of the pool. And then there's the times where it's just the college students. No. What? I don't know.
You
It's
just don't
not
like
cool.
anyone's pool vibe?
I
No,
don't.
just the CRC's pool.
I don't like pool vibes that have, like, a lap swimming vibe, because I feel like
Yeah.
people might be swimming laps and I might be in the way. So
Yeah.
if it's, like, a pool vibe that's, like, extremely recreational, no laps at all, that's
Like,
where I
take
feel
out
comfortable.
the lane dividers and I'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No lines anywhere, no.
I'm
In fact,
the person
even-
that is in a line swimming
Mhm.
and ends up 3 over.
You know what? Now that I
Even
think
in a
of it,
rectangular pool is too much. It should be some sort of oval, round, like a different shape.
so you can just go in a circle.
Yeah.
Now that I think of it, I did, a couple years ago, try to lap swim in the pool, and I, like, went there a couple times. I even, like, had goggles,
Wow.
you know, and I couldn't swim in a straight line, and there was, like, this other person in the lane with me for some reason, and they kept I kept running into them, and I think they were a little mad at me. I don't know who it was, but
Why were
like,
they in your lane?
Yeah.
Is there enough? I guess I've never been there. I don't
Were you
know.
in their lane, Laurel?
no, I don't remember why they were in my lane. Maybe there were, like, too many people there and we had to share lanes, or, like,
Oh.
I doubt that I would see a bunch of open lanes and intentionally get in one with a person already there, but maybe they did that.
You might unintentionally.
You never know, I don't remember.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best pool experience, like I said.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah.
I mean, think about it. We've thought, let's go swimming, and where do we go? We go to the lake, and apparently we go to the ocean before we go to a pool.
Yeah.
So,
I can't tell you that the Puget Sound would be much cleaner than the pool, though.
well, nothing's cleaner than something with chlorine in it. Doesn't mean I want it
Yeah.
in my hair.
She's all about her hair.
I'm all about my
Okay.
hair.
See, for me, it's more that we wanted to jump in cold water. The pool wouldn't give us the cold.
Yeah,
we
you're
need.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Although if anyone installs, like, kind of a hot tub situation, like, right next to the sound, hit us up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So we can jump in the hot tub, jump in the sound, jump in the hot tub, jump in the sound. And is that kind of a disaster for cleaning the hot tub? Yes.
But,
worth
like,
it.
worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta clean the hot tub anyways, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, the thing is, hot tubs they're very growy places.
Growy?
It's warm and wet, and if you're not putting a bunch of chemicals in, it's not super deathly either. So,
Yeah, you're right.
Speaking of the cold water.
wait, first, just public service announcement. If you go in a public hot tub, take a shower afterwards.
Yep.
That's
Yes,
my recommendation.
Any public swimming situation.
Take a shower before you do anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any other recreational activities? All right.
Yep.
Speaking of cold water.
Speaking of cold water, who's ready for Frozen number 2?
I
Right?
am.
We're all ready.
We're
Yeah.
real ready.
You know, what?
Go.
I watched the trailer, and I gotta say, I have no idea what this movie's gonna be about. It, like, leaves so much up to the imagination. Is there gonna be music? Was there music in the trailer? Not that much. Like, is it a musical? Like, who are the characters? They only had, like, a few characters shown in the trailer, right?
That's true, there wasn't really a whole city of people going on.
Yeah, there were no new characters.
My imagination isn't that wild. I'm sure they'll be singing "And a City of People." Like
There has to be singing. I mean, Frozen is a musical. You can't just make Frozen 2 a silent film.
I would watch that. It's also black and white.
Taking it back to the old days.
They have like a piano playing over everything.
Now, I'm really
but all the trailers are in color.
Yeah, it's very misleading.
Yeah. I'm very curious about, and now I think a lot of people are, this is not an unpopular thought, but the sexuality of Elsa. Will they address it in this film?
Oh yeah,
What?
I've not really been in touch with that. What do you know about this?
Well, everybody says that she's gay.
Wait, why? Who? I feel like I haven't
Like,
really heard this.
it's a popular opinion. I don't remember all the details about it, but, like, everybody's like, Elsa is gay. She is lesbian, and, like, let's get
Okay, but what's the actual evidence other than she rejects a bunch of men?
Does she even reject any men, though?
Yeah, there was, like, in that party scene, right? Because, Anna gets together with that one guy because he couldn't get anywhere with Elsa. And he wanted to the kingdom.
Oh.
So maybe she's not gay, she's just, like... Maybe she's just...
Are you saying you don't want Elsa to be gay, Laurel?
No, I'm saying there's other options. Like, maybe she's asexual, or aromantic, or...
Laurel wants her to be aromantic.
I really, really do. Okay, if there's anything I hate about movies, it's romantic subplots. Like, if you're gonna have romance in a movie, just make the movie about that. Like, you don't need this extra stuff that takes away from the actual story or, like, message of the movie.
I love romantic subplots.
Yeah, me too. Oh, mushy gushy. Love
but,
stuff.
I mean, I'd be down if
I
she's
would
gay.
be fine if Elsa was just, like, an aromantic, asexual, like, Disney character.
Right.
You know, although I feel like it's like a little bit of, you know, because it's like Ice Queen, right? It's very literal, but I guess she's fine.
Oh,
but,
you're right.
But let me tell you, I think it'd be great if Elsa was gay also, just like as a second option for the first.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, watching her sing Let It Go, I'm just saying, it was nice.
Yeah.
I watched it several times.
Wow, I did not know this.
It's only one scene. It's not important.
I think it's just like maybe people have brought up that there isn't a lot there for her on the, like, sexual romantic side of things yet.
Yeah, like, who's she gonna actually meet?
The caribou.
Like,
oh boy! That should not be...
Okay. No.
Oh man.
But I think that maybe people are, like, saying,
friend,
she's
honestly.
lesbian because there's the ability for her to be that. They haven't labeled her yet. And, like, Disney really needs to get on with their
Okay, do you
stuff.
think Anna and Kristoff? Is that his name?
Chris something, right?
I think it's
Yeah.
Kristoff.
I think it's Kristoff.
Do you think they're gonna get together?
I thought they already were
I think
together.
they are together.
Oh, they are?
Okay, but let me just say that we're like, we're not about the romantic subplot, and that's all we've talked about. Because Laurel made a very interesting observation, which is, you know, only from watching the trailer, which is maybe Anna has, like, fall powers.
Yeah, they had, like, a leaf at the end of the trailer.
And I said, Laurel, what are fall powers? And she said, death!
She just accidentally kills everything.
And let me
but,
tell
like,
you.
in a beautiful way. You know? Maybe she's like a healer. But, like, not in the healing, like, you come back to life. Like, she puts things out of their misery.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god.
Wow.
I guess that wouldn't be a healer,
But let me just say that at the end it says frozen, and it's kind of like black creeping up, so theory confirmed.
Yeah.
Anna has the power of death.
There we go.
She was all looking kind of sad next to a boulder.
Right.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
I feel like
sadness.
they get stranded on an island or something. Or like they're lost somehow.
But there was like that weird scene in what looked like their home castle with all those ice crystals kind of floating there.
Yeah. Were they? They could have just been hanging from the ceiling discreetly.
I feel like the weirdest moment of the trailer was when they there's like this such dramatic music and they come up and they're like on this cliff and you look over and it's just a regular forest.
Yeah.
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 But it's
But
fall.
it was fall. Yeah.
Shit, man.
I guess we'll just have to wait until November and find out.
Oh, I can't wait that long. When's the second trailer
I feel like
coming out?
we've never promoted any movie on this podcast.
No.
So the first movie we have to promote is Frozen 2.
Frozen 2.
See it in theaters.
Yep.
With us, we'll be there.
Yeah.
We'll be there every single night that is in theaters. So just come a couple times, and the people you see that are there both times, then you'll know who's on your podcast.
Yeah.
I see what you mean, Laurel, about making commitments without thinking things through.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do that.
But yeah, we'll be there.
We'll be there at least once, right?
Oh.
I will be there at least once.
Okay, if we're talking about Frozen, I'm doing a quick plug. I definitely have to see How to Train Your Dragon 3, which does have a romantic subplot.
Which is why I don't want to watch it.
I will not commit to whether or not I will be to any of these. Yeah. So, don't look back and regret not answering our questions. Email now. Saltwater or freshwater fish?
You can find us every day on Google Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Castbox, and Messy. Just search for Basically Misled.
Hit us up this weekend at basicallymisled@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening and good luck with your future endeavors.